Growing up in a neighborhood like mine had a lot of challenges. I grew up on the west side of Chattanooga. I saw a difference in some of my friends who didn't play sports that was constantly in that environment. Because I'm a firm believer that, when you're in a hostile environment, it's only a matter of time before you either have to adapt to it or you be consumed by it. So I was fortunate to be able to play sports and make it out. But now, my mission is to come back and teach people what I'm doing. I started Post Pro Group in 2011 after being injured from basketball. I was only supposed to be out 6 weeks. I ended up having a setback and I was out 18 months. Being out that long it forced me to start thinking about life after basketball. My dad passed when I was young, so my uncle kind of helped. He was in real estate up in Detroit, and he used to always have all these real estate books. When I was younger, I never read the books. I didn't start reading them until I got older. And I just started, gravitating towards real estate. The mission of Post Pro Group is to inspire and help other athletes either start or invest in businesses and show them, lead by example and show them that, hey, there is life after sports. The name kind of speaks for itself, Post Pro, life after the game. This is one of the areas that I grew up in. There hasn't been any significant investment on the Eastdale side in 40, 50, 60 years. So we're the first ones on the street. When I finished my previous development, I took that capital and reinvested it into my neighborhood. And I wanted to revitalize the neighborhood, not gentrify the neighborhood. What makes Valentina Estate special, one, I put a lot of love into this project. It's named after my mom. My mom's name is Valentina. So this is something that I wanted to build that could stand the test of time. This is going to be 57 single-family homes with 57 tiny homes attached. So that's 114 homes on this 18 acres. It's not just homes on land. This is an actual living, breathing community, walking trails, green space. We're going to have a dog park. It's going to be gated. We're going to have EV chargers.
It's just amazing to see a young man come back and give to his community after being gone and wanting to come back and give to his community. It's just heartfelt.
I'm just overwhelmed. I really am. I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him.
For me personally, to see an African-American man come in and reinvest into a community that has historically been divested in, it just warms my heart. And we're going to do everything we can do to make sure Valentina Estates is a part of our Chattanooga way.
When you have a vibrant, sustainable community, the energy is different. I'm on a mission, and the mission is to dominate. So if you're interested in doing a project like this, or if you're interested in investing in a project like this, definitely reach out to us at postprocapital.com, or you can email us at info@postprogroup.com. You can also find me on all the socials, postpro_Shazilla. All right, we good, Lex? All right. What it do, man? We back, man. We going live. We doing 75 Hard on live. If y'all familiar with 75 Hard, man, I'm going live every day for 75 days straight and giving y'all some games. So make sure y'all jump in the comments, ask me any questions y'all got on real estate, on any level, but I'll be specifically talking about real estate development. But if y'all got questions on real estate, definitely jump in the comments. I got my team. They helping me out behind the scenes. Let me know what y'all saying. And then we'll just go down the line. So let's go ahead and shoot off. But yeah, first of all, let's talk about this shirt I got on. Y'all see it got the Boys in the Hood. It got the Boys in the Hood inspiration on it. But it say 40 acres in the hood, because that's what we doing. And we trying to inspire everybody else to buy up their hood. So, don't believe the hype. Everybody talking about it's undervalued. Don't invest in the hood. Shit, the hood is where it's at. You're gonna get in at a cheaper price. Everybody overlooking it. That's an opportunity. I know we talk about location, but when you buy up everything, you create the location. First thing we did was we brought the car wash back. Now we also read the 10-year plan. It's a food desert. We need a grocery store. Also need a bank that's in the 10-year plan. So if you can jump in front of that, bring that to that side of town, you can build that whole side up. And that's not gentrification, that's revitalization. So taking stuff that's undervalued and adding value to it. So what questions we got, team? Drop them in the chat. We live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, 2 YouTube pages, 2 IG pages, X, TikTok. Yeah, we going crazy. Let's see what they talking about. I got some land that I inherited from family. What should I do with it? Man, I need more information than that. But if you inherited some land from your family, first thing that I would do if I was you, man, I would try to first I'll call the city, see what it's zoned for, see what I can possibly do with it. Then I'll set up a consultation with a civil engineer to see how many units you can put on that land, and then hopefully you got a survey with that, or the first investment gonna be getting a survey so you can know where your boundary lines are, so you can have a real idea of the size of the lot, because tax records are wrong all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you know the exact size of the lot. So those are the steps I would take if I was inheriting some family property. I would call the city, see what it's zoned for, see what I can do. I will get a free consultation with a civil engineer, see what the highest and best use is. How can I cut up the property to increase the density? And I'll take it from there. But I see some other comments, but I can't really see them. Team, drop it in the chat so I can see it. And we can't see what they saying on IG, my personal IG. Let's get it together. But yeah, first let me start by talking about what we got going on. We got about $60 million in real estate development going on across 7 different sites, 34 townhomes, 71 lots on another property. We're in the process, under construction right now, doing 42 micro homes. And then we got another 4 units that's finishing up. We out there right now putting in the infiltration system and putting in the head walls and everything like that. And after we put the infiltration system in, we're going to be doing the parking pad. Then we're going to stage it, put it on the market, and get it off. So the good thing about that, me and my cousin bought that land for like $3,500, which was, man, ridiculous. And then I went and got it rezoned from 1 unit to 4. So I increased the value. We already got it for dirt cheap at $3,500. We increased the value by being able to build 4 units. Building these units for about $800,000. So we all in. What? Let's see, what's that? No, $800,000 for all 4 units. So we all in 800, and it already appraised for 308. So that's like 1.2, and then you can do the math on that. But we here to document our process, not really brag about numbers. Somebody else asked the question: how do you manage risk in all of your ground up developments? Man, how do we manage risk? Well, first we underwrite properly in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I pride myself on knowing the numbers. So I would never force a deal. The deal got to make sense, worst case scenario. And I always talk about stress testing your deal. And what I mean by stress testing it is, let's say if I can build whatever I'm building for $130 a square foot, I might do my pro forma at $150 a square foot, because stuff will go wrong. That's what I call stress testing a deal. Also on the backside, on the ARV, I don't get overly optimistic on the ARV. Let's say these units appraised, the townhomes that I'm talking about, they appraised for 308, but my pro forma worked at 260,000. So whatever it appraised for, that was icing on the cake. And then also too, what put me at ease is if I'm listing them at 315, but if they sit on the market longer than what I want them to sit on, I can reduce the price 20% and still, make out, because I was willing to move forward at 260 and they appraised for 308. You know what I'm saying? So That's kind of how we do it there. Let's see. What other comments we got? What other comments we got? Hopefully I answered your question. I'm pretty sure I did. Hopefully you do something with the game. What else? Keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. Hey, the more engaged y'all is, the more I'm gonna be talking back. That goes back to that goes back to the bottom line. Yep, it does. So what was that? That was what, 48,000 a unit? That's almost 50,000 a unit. That's almost 200K that wasn't even on the pro forma that we may make out with. Now, we did have to pay 35,000 for an infiltration system that wasn't on the budget. So that take it from 200K down to about, 165. But I mean, all that, that's going back to the bottom line for sure. And another thing too, make sure you got your capital stack in hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you going to be raising from private investors. See, I do a hybrid of both. I raise from private lenders. Then we get a hard money lender to go vertical because people don't want to lend on the dirt. A lot of lenders are scared of lending on the dirt. I don't know why. It's only real estate. But what I get back a lot from lenders is, hey, if something happens and we have to take it back, we don't know what to do with the dirt. And I'm like, do what I do with it. You know what I'm saying? Get on the live and I'm gonna tell you what to do with it. But we pretty much finance the dirt dollar for dollar until we get to the vertical construction of the structures, and then we get on a hard money draw schedule. Yeah, let's see. What else we got? My bad, y'all. I'm blinking because the comments I'm reading. I usually have my assistant in here and she'll read off the comments, but she's sick. So I'm out here. I'm a one-man show today. How does your in-house construction and development process give you an edge over others? Well, my in-house GC ain't gonna try to beat me. I mean, we got a flat rate. So he not trying to beat me on materials. He not trying to up the score on me on the subs. And I give him every deal. So he know that as long as I got deals, I'm gonna feed them to him. So so that's one of the advantages of having an in-house GC and I won't say in-house construction because we sub everything out. But yeah, that in-house GC is crucial. We got a flat rate. I know what my expenses is, and there's not a lot of changeovers going on. Let's see. Somebody asked a question, but it was a two-part question. But let's see. And who's manning the IG? I ain't see no comments coming from IG, but I see it over there jumping. We're gonna get to y'all in a minute, IG. Drop y'all questions in the chat. And also too, let me know where y'all from, man. Let me know where y'all trying to develop at. Man, this some free game that we trying to get y'all, and we want y'all to do something with it. Until some more questions come in, I'll keep talking about what we got going. Are they watching the IG? Yeah, so another thing, man, you want to make sure that you privy of is your timelines. If you got investors, you want to make sure you meet all your timelines. Of course, stuff happens. And we're in a market right now where stuff is happening all the time. You wake up, you're in a different war with a different country. You don't know what's going to happen. The market going up, market going down. It's a lot of fear in the market. A lot of people who say they're going to do something, and they think the world about to go to shit, and they don't. So it's a lot of navigating right now that you got to do. But one thing that I'm gonna do to make up for lost time, if any, is start going 7 days a week on the construction tip. So every day of the week we're gonna be out there because that helps make up for stuff we can't control, like weather. Like we can't control that it rains for 4 or 5 days and it's cold, and then it take 3-4 days to dry up unless you out there walking in mud. So that's why we're trying to get our pavers out there. So even if it does rain, we could still get out there and get busy. And also too, getting those structures up, especially in the winter time, like in the rainy season. Because even if it rains, once you close it in, you can work inside. Yeah. But like I said, man, we're gonna be going live every day, 75 days. This is only my third day going live ever. So we will get better at this, and it's gonna start drawing a lot more people in. I see we got a lot of people watching. They just not commenting right now. Somebody else just came in and said, how do you protect investors when markets shift or costs change? Well, I protect my investors on the front end because we stress test the deals. Like, it's not on best case scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything don't got to go right for the deal to go right, because I've already stress tested the deal. I just gave you an example of I underwrote a deal at 260 to sell it at 260,000, and they appraised at 308. And on that particular deal, I got three different appraisals. I didn't like the first one, I got another one. I didn't like the second one, I got another one. And the thing about it is, and what's crazy about that is, it was $100,000 difference from the first appraisal to the third appraisal. And that $300,000 under price point is no way you could be off that much. Somebody don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it worth 200K or is it worth 308? It's no way it could be 100K off in that price point. Now you could be $100,000 off once you get up to 700,000, 800,000 and up. But how you gonna be $100,000 off under 300K? That don't make no sense. Like I said, somebody don't know what they're doing, and that's why I wasn't scared to spend the money. I like, oh, I disputed it. They ain't want to change it. I got another one. The second one came in at about 225. I didn't like that one. I got another one. These appraisals like $600-700 each. But what I paid? What, 2,100 for those three appraisals? But we made 200K go back to the bottom line from that $50,000 each unit that it appraised for higher. So it was worth it. All right, Corey said, any advice where newbies can find buildable lots? I mean, one thing that I do, everything that I bought, I actually ride by. Like, I'm one of them people. I still do driving for dollars. Like, when I damn near everything I got, I done rolled by. I done got on Land Glide or Deal Machine and got the address and sent them a FedEx mailer. Um, I never sent out those shotgun. Well, I ain't gonna say I never did. When I was a realtor, I did send out those shotgun blasts. Hope somebody called me. But nowadays, I just do more sniper campaigns. Sniper campaigns is like, basically, I know I want that. So when you call back, I'm jumping on it. You know what I'm saying? And when I send a FedEx mailer, the difference about sending a FedEx mailer versus those postcards is everybody sending the postcards. Whoever receiving, they can't tell who was who. They can't tell who for real or not. But when I send that FedEx mailer with my metal business card and my letter of intent on thick paper, everything is different. The paper that the LOI is on is different. The metal business card is different. The FedEx mailer is different. I put a tracker on the FedEx mailer so I know you open it. If I can find your number and FedEx let me know that it was delivered, I'm gonna give you a call. So everything is different from everybody just sending those dollar postcard mailers hoping somebody call them back. So I stopped doing shotgun blasts once I knew better. Somebody said, "Can you show us?" I just gave it to you, bro. Go. See, that's what they talking about. They said I was mean. I'm just talking like if we was at a family reunion, man. I ain't, this me. I can only be me, and I'm just giving you game. But I just gave you what you asked for, and I get better at this too, man. You know, they were like, he. Somebody said I was unapproachable. I'm on the internet, man. What other questions we got? Hey, and did I answer your question about advice on the on the buildable lots? I can only tell you what I do. I drive for dollars, and it worked for me. Um, and those FedEx mailers, the reason why I send those FedEx mailers, even though they 10 times the cost, because those postcards cost like $1. FedEx mailers, you're gonna spend at least $10 up to $15 or $20 depending on where it's going. And it's worth it, because if I send 30 of those and you might send 2,500 of those dollar mailers, I'm gonna get some real calls back. It's gonna be a whole different conversation because they're gonna know I'm serious. Um, Let me see. I appreciate it, Corlin. We're gonna keep it going. What questions you got? Um, what else? What else? Don't be shy. What do you want to talk about? Development. Oh yeah. Anytime it get dead in the comments, I'm just gonna go back to what we doing. Like right now we're in the process of raising 5 million for all the deals that we're doing. We got about 250 units that we building over the next couple of years. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going live, 75 hard, going live every day, giving game. Stepping out my comfort zone, because if you know me personally, you know I ain't much of a talker. But we got the studio in here, might as well utilize it. Somebody just asked a question. As a developer, what's your long-term vision? To create a ripple effect so everybody go invest in their own neighborhoods and bring it up. So if I got to be the first one through the door and document my process and educate y'all as I go, that's what we're going to do. Another thing, too, I'm not going to always just be in the studio. When I'm in the city where the development's at, I'll be going live from the site, walking you through everything that we're doing in real time. Like I said, on one of my sites, we put in the infiltration system. On another site, we getting everything tied up for land disturbance. I got another site to build 16 townhomes that's shovel ready. So it's always something going on. We talking to the city, we talking to our architects, we talking to our civil engineers, talking to the team, our extended team, talking to investors, going to masterminds. I was in Dallas all week last week at a mastermind. I was in the office this morning at 5 a.m. and it's went live at 7. And after this cut off, I'm gonna do some more work and then I'm gonna move around a little bit tonight. So man, I'm always on go. I always been like that. I always did the most. Let's see. What are your thoughts on multifamily? I like multifamily. I started out in multifamily. I started out cold calling for Jake and Gino. We had a little group called the Deal Dogs. So they had got a catalog with all of my market was Atlanta. Another guy that was in the Deal Dogs, he was calling Kentucky, like the whole tri-state. Another guy had a list calling Tennessee. I had the Atlanta list, so I would cold call apartment owners, see if they wanted to sell. Jake and Gino had the experience. I had the hustle. We worked out a deal. If I got a deal, I would get a percentage. I could either take the money or use it as equity, as a GP. We didn't do a deal, but I learned a lot. And we almost did a deal. It wasn't because we made offers. People just wanted too much for those properties. One time I had a portfolio of like 5 different apartments. That would have changed the game for sure. But I started out in apartments, so I'm very familiar with that. That's a good investment. I know a lot of people are in trouble right now. A lot of apartment investors are trying to get into self storage. I think that apartment, a couple years ago, everybody got those adjustable rates, and those loans coming due, and rates are higher now. So it's kind of tough on a lot of apartment owners now. They trying to get in self storage. So, but that's why I like to play in that 300K and under market because that got the largest buyer pool, and it's more help for the buyers to get in the units. You got all these programs and stuff, first time home buyer programs. When I see somebody building a five, six, $700,000 house, now a million plus market, that's still good. But 4, 5, 6, 700, that's the middle, that missing middle up to 800. Man, that's tough. When the rates go up and everything gets squeezed, the $1 million buyer is now approved for 750. A lot of people don't want to go down. But like I said, I like to play in that under $300,000 range. It got the most. It got the largest buyer pool. Okay, okay. Oh man, well you just threw me off. All right, what else we got? We gonna get you a link. Yellow Beezy. We're gonna get you a link. What other comments we got? How we looking on? We're 25 minutes in. All right. What are some of the deal breakers on land? Uh, man, so somebody just asked what's some of the deal breakers on land. Will you entertain anything with wetlands? Man, that's a great question. When I didn't know nothing about wetlands, I walked away from it. But now I know you could build around it. So it was a one property. It had wetlands on it, and I really didn't understand it at the time. But now I know you could just build around it. So this day and age, I will still do a deal with wetlands. It just depends on how big it is, how many spots it is, and it's a case by case basis. Um, but as far as a deal breaker on land, I'm trying to think, flood zone. I'm not dealing nothing with a flood zone. It could be in a flood plain because you can install storm drains and infrastructure, but if it's in a flood zone, I probably won't deal with it. Um, what's the biggest risk in development? Man, every part of the game in development is risky. That's why you got to minimize risk from the jump. Development is the highest level of the game you can play. It's also the most risky game because you got the dirt. First of all, let me back up. You got the entitlements, you got the dirt, and then you got the structures, and then you got the exit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different moving parts. And like I said, man, on any given day, me and my team, we probably talking to 10 different variations of people. The neighbors, like we got one property where we going in doing soil testing, and the neighbors was complaining, so we had to go door knock the neighbors and let them know what we doing. Then you got to talk to your architect, you got to talk to the city inspector, your civil engineer. Like, man, we doing a lot at once, so you got to make sure you really dialed in. And what really makes it risky is not having the foresight of everything that needs to be done and getting it done in a timely manner. Um, what's the difference between the flood zone and the floodplain? Sounds the same. Let me ask my chat GPT. Now, flood zone mean it's gonna flood, every 100 years it's definitely gonna flood. Floodplain means that it does flood. So that's my definition of it. And just because it floods, that could be something with the city infrastructure. That could be fixed. But a flood zone means it's gonna flood, once every 100 years or whatever. So that's my answer on that. Let's see. Somebody said, how do you manage it? How do you manage what? But that was a good question. The flood zone and the floodplain. Um, you know, that was a good question. Because the 42 micro homes, that's in the floodplain, but it's not in the flood zone. So we had to put in about 350,000 of storm drain infrastructure in to make sure that we retain the water, because it's at the bottom of a hill, and it's at the bottom of the hill, and all the water from the entire neighborhood goes down through where my site is. So we had to put a lot of storm drains in, like 350K worth, and then we got 2 retention ponds. So when the water comes, it seeps out within 48 hours. And then we also got 2 swells. We got a swell going around the back that makes the water go around the property, and then we got another swell going around the backside of the property. So if it flood after that, man, God, dog, we're gonna have to talk with our civil. Cause I think we over engineered it, but I think we out of the woods on that one. What else we got? So, and back to what I'm talking about as far as revitalization goes, until more questions come in. Like I said, the first phase we brought back the car wash. That's been up and running for 2 years after being shut down for 7 years. I bought a second car wash, which we tore down, and it was a house connected next to it. I tore that house down. That's what we're doing, the 16 townhomes. We're working on getting financing for that. That's already ready to go. This whole past year, I spent this whole past year getting everything entitled. So everything is really pretty much ready to go. And that's why I'm doing this 75 hard, going live every day. So anywhere from, I think we're gonna try to stick to 7 o'clock. Well, some days we might go at 6, some days we might go at 5, but more than likely we're gonna go at 7. What else we got, T? Let's see. What else we got? What else game can I give y'all? Especially if a lot of people, because I get a lot of questions about people inheriting family property. Man, like, you know, definitely do what I told y'all earlier, as far as like calling down to the city, go to a city council meeting. Like, I mean, it's open to the public. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna learn so much by just going sitting in a city council meeting, just by hearing other developers go up and try to get their projects approved. You're gonna see why it's approved or why it's not approved and what you got to do to get it approved. So that'll be the first step. And also too, since COVID now, all that stuff is online. Like you can go to YouTube and watch a city council meeting and get your education on. Because it's a lot of people that, like I'm about to get ready to get my grandmother's property that I'm gonna get ready to do 3 units on. But that lot been in our family for 20 years. It only came up, when she passed. So, definitely go ask the family, like, do we got any property in the family that's not being utilized? I want to see if I can develop it. And you create wealth just off that alone. Okay. What obstacles will you be facing? Thank you for putting it right there, because I was struggling over here. What obstacles will you be facing with the city and neighborhoods to bring life back into a good desert, a food desert? How do you bring resources to the neighborhood to make it more desirable? I don't think I'm gonna have obstacles. Trying to bring life back into it. I don't think the city. Well, the municipality I'm in, the city wants to see development, so they don't hassle you on different stuff unless you're just trying to do something that's crazy. You know, I was in one city council meeting and a dude was trying to do he was trying to do an industrial development in a residential neighborhood. So I see why the neighbors showed up in droves and didn't want that. They don't want that at the end of their street. It got to be uniform. Like, you know what I'm saying? It got to make sense. So if I'm trying to bring a grocery store and it's a food desert, I highly doubt the city will try to fight me on it. And plus, like I said, I wouldn't do that unless it was in a 10-year plan anyway. What's the biggest risk in developments? I think I already answered that. It's the riskiest game you can play, but it's also the most rewarding and lucrative. So if you can pull it off, it's going to be a good day. But I also say this, man, if you want to get in development, go work for somebody for free and learn. Like I was just talking, dude ask about apartments. I started off cold calling with the only thing that I had was if I got somebody that wanted to sell, I could get in on a deal. And that was good enough for me because I learned so much just by cold calling these big time apartment owners. And it just helped me out in more ways than one. So it really wasn't even free because I was getting education along the way. Let's see. What else we got? All right. Somebody said if someone wanted to be a capital investor on one or all of your projects, how would they contact you? Steph, drop my contact info in the chat, but I'll go ahead and tell you contact@postprogroup.com. If you want to be a capital investor, go to contact@postprogroup.com. And we'll schedule a call and make it happen. But also too, I think we're gonna get ready to set up an investor dinner. I don't know the date on that, and it may be like in Miami or something. So that's one thing. Also, Steph, drop the link to the investment club if anybody's interested in that. But let's see. I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. It's kind of slow, but I'm trying to see what else I could what other game I can get y'all. Let's see. She dropping the links in the chat, and this is gonna be recorded as well, so we're gonna reshare this. But Corey, hopefully I answered your question about the capital partner, because One thing we not short on is deals. We got deals for days. I mean, I still, man, people still be sending me deals. I'm like, man, I can't even look at it right now because we got to finish what's on our plate. We don't want to, we don't want to die from indigestion. You know, your eyes be bigger than your stomach. We got enough on our plate right now. So, if anybody want to be capital partners, reach out, contact at postprogroup.com. Let's see. Damn, somebody just called me back. What else we got? Steph, we got any more questions? I'm going to jet out of here now. All right, they dropping links in there. In the meantime, let's see what else. Trying to think what else. Man, we had a crazy day today, man. It was a lot going on. Man, we was doing the infiltration system. The head walls was bigger than they were supposed to be, so we trying to figure that out. Had to get I won't say a variance. Had to reach out to the city inspector to kind of tweak the plans so we can get it done. And oh my God, yeah, so we can get it done. And yeah, it was a lot going on today. I was over here working. My GC was working. He ain't on here today, but he had a long day. I'm pretty sure. But we got it right. I just put that video up on my story of the infiltration system. So, IG questions loading. Oh, okay. It's a little lag. That's why it's taking so long. But yeah, man, like I said, man, we're gonna be going live every day. Definitely drop y'all comments and questions in the chat. And we're gonna give y'all some game daily, man. We're gonna be doing this every day. I'll be going live for like an hour. My team was like, I need to go for longer. As we get more into it, like I'm really just working out the kinks. This is only my third time going live ever. So I got to still get used to this. If I don't have access to capital, how can I make a deal attractive to investors? And how can I earn their trust? First thing I'm gonna say is track record. What have you done in the past? Have you done it before? Those are the two things that I would say that'll be attractive to investors. Have you done it before? Have you how many deals you done completed? Have you ever lost money on a deal? Have you ever not paid an investor back? All that stuff. So, and also too, you're gonna hear me say this a lot. If you ain't done a deal, you shouldn't be taking investor money. You need to go work for free for somebody to get some deals under your belt. And before you take investor money. That ain't nothing to be played with. Somebody said I'm a full-time educator, but I have a general contractor license. What's a good route to take? Let me ask you this before I answer that question. What do you want to do? You want to be a GC? I would start doing like small jobs on the weekends and just start building it up. And as you build your business, I mean, do you plan on retiring as an educator? If you plan on retiring as an educator, then that might just be like a little side hustle. I mean, most schools get out at 2:15, so you got the rest of the day. You can have your crew out there in the morning. You can be checking on them on your planning period, and then after 2, you go by the sites and you walk it. And then if I was you, so they don't learn your schedule, I'll have somebody go by randomly in the mornings too to represent you. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure, like, oh, he don't come by the after 2 so we can BS in the morning. Like, nah, I would have somebody go out in the mornings too. You don't want them to learn your pattern. But let me know if you plan on retiring an educator, because that's gonna be different from my answer. If you're trying to get out of that shit, then I would, for my side hustle, I'll be trying to build it up as much as possible. I'll be working on the weekends, getting jobs, and to build your business up, I would try to beat a lot of people's prices. I'll be on Angie's List, I'll be on Craigslist, and then I'll document everything so you can use that as marketing, and build your business up to one day, you could you won't have to go into the school. Do you see yourself shaping culture or responding to market demand? What you mean by that? Can someone come in on a deal just as a credit partner. Oh yeah, for sure. First deal I ever did, I needed a credit partner. I need an experienced partner too, because when you're doing a flip, you're gonna need experience. You're gonna need 5 previous flips. When I did my first new construction, I needed a experienced partner. Um, I need an experienced partner for that too. So what the good thing about real estate, whatever you don't have, you can go get. So you could definitely get a credit partner. I done had a credit partner before. I done had an experienced partner before. And now, shit, I'm on the other side of the table. People be coming to me for as an experienced partner. And depending on where I'm at, I might still need a credit partner. Because the thing about development, man, money in, money out. You know, you can have a 500,000 a day, and it's all going to invoices. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big game. So you gotta be used to playing with big numbers. Um, my board just went out, so I can't see the comments no more. So I think I done gave y'all about 40, 50 minutes worth of game. I don't know why this board went out. It ain't never did that. So um, if y'all don't got no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But like I said, man, we're gonna do this every day. We're gonna get this more dialed in. We're gonna get this more fine-tuned. I'm learning the live game. My team learning the live game. And we just not afraid to not be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show y'all the good, bad, and the ugly. But the game gonna be the game. But we are gonna get this dialed in, and there's gonna be more people coming in. It's a lot of people don't even know we're going live. So we're gonna be doing more outreach, letting people know we're going live. But I just want to get it popping. I just want to get it started. So we here. We're gonna be here every day at 7, unless I got something to do on the schedule. It'd be 6 or 5 or 4. But we're gonna get busy every day for 75 days. This day 3. Stay tuned. Holla at me.